What is up there, everybody? Citrus Aviation here for yet another video, and today we have a very special unboxing where we have two models to unbox for y'all today, and they are from two separate retailers. Some of you may be familiar with the Midwest Model Store. I have a special deal with them where if you order models from them using my link in the description and the code Citrus, you get 5% off. Well, he also has a store that sells military models where you can get the same deal, which I'll have that linked below in the description as well, because today we have two models, one from each store, and I'm going to sell them to you today. So this is a sponsored video. I want to mention that right off the rip, just to be fully transparent. I did receive these models for free, and here they are in today's video. There's some cool stuff in here. There's two planes. One is a model I know a lot of people would expect me to buy. It's a very typical Citrus kind of model, if you know a certain airline that I really like. And then the other one is a really neat plane that I've kind of been eyeing for a while. It's a brand that I've never bought their models before, but I've considered doing it for quite a while. So let's take a look here. It's another piece of tape here. Just snip that off, and here we go. We got two planes in here. Oh, that is massive. That model's huge. So there's two planes in here. The first one is right here, and the second one is there. We're going to take a look at it here in just a second. But let's take a look at the Delta 757 first. Here it is, by NG Models. This is the first of quite a few that I'll be getting of this release. Probably no big surprise for those of you who know that I like to collect Delta models. I do have a lot of these coming. I think 6 total. And this is the first one, Delta 752 by NG. For whatever reason, the NG 75s, they feel so lightweight when in the box, which is kind of neat, but that's that. And then the second one, this is taking up the most space in the box. And here it is. This is the United States Navy. Let me get that better into a better view. The United States Navy E2C, made by Hobbymaster, and this is my very first 1 to 72nd scale die-cast military model. I actually have a few 1 to 72nd scale models that are like kits and such that I put together, and a couple that there's several that I need to work on. There's a couple that I made many years ago, but here we have this, and we're going to take a special look at it because it's a really neat model. Take a look at that right there. I'm going to try and get that into a better view. So here's the front of the box. And then we have the back with 2 E2s. We got the top of the box, a side, and I believe they're all basically the same, except there's some information here about the model. And then his side there with the picture. This model is a very special version, as it is the E2 Hawkeye. And this is the specific model over here, as you can see what it says right there. This is the United States Abraham Lincoln, as it would have been seen in September 2018. I wanted to get one of these. I wanted to get one in a more recent color scheme, and I really like that blue and white tail design. So let's take a look at the NG Models version first, because this is a really good fleet builder, and one that's very important to me, obviously. And then we'll talk about the E2 and the special deal you can get through that store. So here's the model. This is a really unique plane because it has the sort registration. I believe it's the shortest registration of all the Delta 75s. So here's the plane. It's a Generation 1 or a low density variant. So pretty neat aircraft right there. So here we have the special E2D. And again, this is from Military Collectibles Direct. If you want to go check it out, it's basically the same store as Midwest Model Store, but for awesome military models. And as a promo for the store, and sort of to let you guys know about it, he sent me this model to take a look at today. And so here we have the Hobbymaster's E2D Hawkeye in 72nd scale. So let's take a look. I believe you open it from either the top or the bottom, and there's a tab. This is a lot like the Gemini Jets terminal box. Very tightly packed. Yeah, and you open it like that. And you got your foam. This is a lot like a 200 scale model. Very similar size box to a Gemini Jets 200 scale model. That might be a narrow body. but this is a 1/72nd scale model. And these are really neat because the detail on these from pictures looks insane. Up on top, we have a Hobby Masters parts diagram, and there is the radar disc there as well. So that's that. And here we have the radar disc here, which is detached, interestingly enough. Looks like we've got a ton of tape we're gonna need to cut off here. Alright, so here we have the radar disc here on top. This is in a separate plastic bag, I assume for protection, because if this came off, that could be an issue. Tons of detail on it. And then here we have the model itself, right in here, which this box doesn't want to come off all the way. There we go. At some point, I'm just going to have to take the tape off, which it's doing right now. Okay, so here we have the model. Got some tissue paper here, protecting the plane. Here you can see what it looks like in the package. Tons of protection all around it. This is the base for the stand. This is another part of the stand which connects into the model. And then here we have the gears, which are in this little package right here. These are massive. Considering this is 1/72nd scale, these look huge. And then we have the actual model itself. So I'm going to actually take the landing gear out because I know these come without the gears, so they have to be installed. These are, I believe, in the gears up position. So if you want to display the model with the gear up. So here are the gears. They come in a single package, but they've got like 3 slots in them. One for each gear, as you can see there. So let's take out the nose gear right here. That looks really nice. And then we have 2 main gears. As you can see, they're very well detailed. Okay, now it's time to take the model out of the package. I'm seeing right off there is a bent blade. This one right here is bent, unfortunately. So I'll see if I can pull that back. But if it doesn't, I'll have to get a replacement. These are for the disc right here. All right, let's try and take this out carefully. Very big model, massive plane. Wow, take a look at that. That is huge. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put this on the stand, put the gears on. So I believe they go in just like this. Oh no, like this, yes. Here we go. They should just slot right in. Just a little bit of thumb pressure. And I think that one's in. Nose gear goes in to here. And I think once again it's just a little bit of thumb pressure. And it'll go in there. And then finally we have the gear for the other side, the other main gear. That slots in just like that. So once you put the model together, it comes with several parts here, such as this 3-piece stand. And there's a bottom piece, a middle piece, a top piece, and then there are these bags of screws. And you can screw the stand in. You have to do that. I tried to put the model on the stand without the screw in, and you'll see the result of that in the failed clips portion of the end of the video. It did not work. So instead, I'm going to plug up the spot here where the stand is supposed to go in on the back of the model, which is right there, and I'm just going to display it without the stand, which is perfectly fine. It looks really nice either way. I've now installed the plug there, and you can see what it looks like. It's pretty neat. There is a tool where you can take it out if you want to put the stand in. that is this thing right here. You just push it in and the part pops out, and then you can hook it to the back of the stand here. So it's pretty neat. The instruction manual shows you how to do that as well. And then there are these other parts here where you can put the pilots in, right there. And then you have your gear covers if you want to display in flight, like here, here, and here. So that's the model, and that's how to basically put together. So let's take a close look at this gorgeous model. As we take a look at this model, here we have the cockpit windows and the nose cone for this aircraft. We have a SIP number 605, and we have some information on the nose gear. One really cool thing about this model is everything is legible. Every warning label, everything you can read on here. You can read the squadron patch there. You can read the escape hatch notice right there. You can read it all. You can read all the danger signs, which there are quite a few. For example, for like the engine inlet, for the engine outlet, all sorts of things. Because this model does not have rolling gears, I've got to kind of just move it slowly. Here you go, you have the propeller blades here. This aircraft is an E2D, which is one of 88 that were built. There were 316 of these Hawkeyes built starting in 1964. Really neat aircraft. These blades don't spin super well, but they do spin. There are 8 total, which is pretty impressive. You can see there's a caution sign there on the gear door and a caution on the front for spinning blades, and then you can see there's another caution in the back which says danger, caution, jet blast. So that's pretty neat. The gears themselves are really well detailed. I don't know if I have them in the correct orientation here. Someone will have to let me know. But I have them facing inwards. I'm not sure if that's correct. That's the pictures the Hobby Master shows, but I'm not sure if that is the correct orientation for the gear. Someone will have to let me know in the comments. Here on the back says United States Navy. We got our information there. Got a bunch of antennas and such. On the rear, you can see the arresting hook for the carrier. This is a carrier-based surveillance aircraft. It's basically the whole point of this aircraft is an early warning system for any threats that might be coming in to the surface fleet or to the carrier group. Here we have the squadron tail design, which is really neat. And then on top, of course, we have the massive radar dome, which is really nicely molded. This does come in 2 separate pieces that you have to put on, but it looks really, really nice. The rear of the aircraft is something that I'm going to note here because of how unique it is. It has 4 stabilizers. You don't see that too often on a lot of aircraft. This was something that the Constellation had and a few other aircraft have had. One of the reasons for this is because there's a lot of uneven air surfaces coming back with that huge dome and the props there. But you can see 4 horizontal stabilizers. That's a lot. You don't see that very often. You can see more detail back here. Over here you can see a few windows in here, and this is where the crew would sit on this aircraft. You can see they have a few windows there to look out of. On this side there is a gear door missing here, as you can see. We've got 2 sets of gear doors that's supposed to be here, one up front and one in the back. This one's missing on this side, and the other side does have it. But you can see even more details all over this model. Super nicely detailed. There's a crew entrance door right there. You can see there's a yellow sign showing that it is an escape route. You see number 5 there. Really neat model. I'm going to see if I can show you all some of the topside details too. This is almost turning into like a review, but this is an unboxing, but there's so many neat angles of this aircraft you can take a look at. Tons of detail on the dome. It's just such a nice model. Yes, it's very expensive, and it's made out of plastic, so it's not really like a die-cast metal model. It's more of a resin mold, but it's super nice. This is one of the bigger Hobby Master models that they make, and I think it's going to be a centerpiece for a lot of people's collection. And for me, it's kind of the start of officially my 1/72 scale collection. And there's a couple other planes I want to put together and a few others I want to get. but this is really, really neat. I'll definitely pick up some more Hard Masters, and you can buy this at Military Collectibles Direct. Once again, you can go check it out, link in the description down below. Really neat plane. Before we move on to the NG752, I did want to mention that I was able to fix the blade here. I think it was this one that was bent out a little bit. You can see I've been able to bend it in to where it's very difficult to tell that it was ever bent out. I might eventually be able to fix it all the way so you literally can't tell the difference. But yeah, you just gotta be careful, you just gotta walk with it slowly, and eventually the plastic will form back into shape. But this is a really cool, really neat model, and definitely one I recommend picking up. And here it is, the model that us Delta collectors have been waiting for. The NG model Delta 757-200 in a version that is currently operated. They've made a few of these before, but none of them were current. None of them had the winglet and were ones that were currently in operation. So the one that they made that was in operation was an unwingleted one. It was just a standard one with no winglet. So here we go. This is a Generation 1 or low density variant. It's November 704 X-ray, which is, I believe, one of the ones from Singapore Airlines. Here you can see the cockpit windows, the SkyTeam logo, the L1, L2 door, the Delta titles there. You can see the separation between the passenger compartment and the lower bin there. You can see that little crease there. See the parcel registration and the tall gear. I love the tall gear. I love this this gear looks a little different than what I'm used to seeing from NG. Is it like a new update gear or something? If it is, it looks very nice. See the forward SATCOM box, which is accurate to this exact 757 with the more flat top. The kind of like the flat top tapers to the back, and the sides are very squared off. Very nice. There's the lower antenna right there. See the engines, which are the Pratt & Whitney PW2037s. And I know I've complained in the past about the NG757 engines being oversized. Oh, sorry, not oversized, but undersized. But as I look at these more, they seem more and more like the correct size. But yeah, you can see the main gear there, look really nice as per usual. The purple winglet there, gorgeous. Overwing details. See an antenna up top. First class here, you got your premium economy, and then the rest is economy. There's a little something there on the fuselage. Is that a chip? No, it's just a piece of dust. Alright. ADF antennas up top. L3 and L4 door. Registration. There's this little thing here that I need to get off. There we go. Yeah, and the registration US flag, it looks gorgeous as per usual. Another antenna, and of course the Delta tail is beautiful. APU housing detail, super nice. And on the starboard side, you got the same details, except you have a cargo door, both front and rear. Really nice model, as per usual. NG Models really does a nice job with their model airplanes, and it's a great model. So both these models are incredible. Go check out the Midwest Model Store and Military Collectibles Direct if you want some great deals on model aircraft. And of course, if you want to help support me as a creator, buying the models you're going to buy anyway helps me out, so I really appreciate it. So that's it for this video. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and God bless you.
Just do it! Yeah.